You will find it at West Side Decorating Center. Good morning to you. Welcome to a brand new week, and it's Cinco de Mayo on this Monday, the 5th of May. We will later on, after the 10 o'clock news, learn about giving local with the Midland and Bay Foundations. At 11 o'clock, we'll learn about B&B Trailers on Focus. We're expecting a guest this hour, but haven't heard yet, so we will have open phones for time. We'll have open phones from now till 10 o'clock this morning, and if our guest calls in, we'll just interrupt for a few minutes to talk to the guest. But in the meantime, open phones at 989-752-6111. And how about them Tigers? I was reading in, I think it was USA Today, had their power rankings for baseball teams. And the Tigers now rank 4th. And the whole article, even though they were ranked 4th, and the other teams were mentioned, was mostly about the Tigers and their surprise and how they're doing and pitching and hitting and you name it. Last night was a blowout, 13-1. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we've got the team we're looking for. It's fun to watch, I'll tell you that. Fun to listen to on the radio. Absolutely. Nice to have. Isn't it nice to have teams winning? The Red Wings didn't make the playoffs, but they did better. They are improving. And next year, I would expect they'll make the playoffs. The Pistons did well, made the playoffs, or done now, but they still made us proud, performed well. The Lions, what can you say about the Lions? Look what they did last year. And the Tigers, I mean, the days of brown bags over our heads for any and all of those teams are gone. Nice to see. Nice to see indeed. Good spirit. Good spirit for the citizens of this region. Couple of notes that pulled off some of the sites today. Just one of them caught my attention right away. President Trump has ordered the reopening of infamous Alcatraz prison, believe it or not. He said he was directing the Federal Bureau of Prisons to rebuild and reopen the infamous prison in San Francisco to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. I don't know what that'll cost because that building is not in great shape. I don't know if you've ever been there. I've been there. It was many, many years ago I was there. And, you know, of course, it was the prison that housed our most notorious criminals. And sits on an island out in San Francisco Bay. But it's going to take a lot of money to get that place back in shape where it would meet modern standards and all of that. And the reason it was closed many years ago, it was too expensive to operate at the time. Mainly due to its island location. Nearly 3 times more costly to operate than any other federal prison when it was up and operating. And of course housed some of the most infamous criminals that this country had, the Al Capones of the world. Closed in 1963, so it's been closed for 62 years. And it is a very, very popular tourist attraction, as you can imagine. Movies made about it, and, you know, it has a life of its own, Alcatraz. You just say the word Alcatraz, and it conjures up these images. But it'll be interesting to see if they can actually rebuild it and reopen it. I mean, they can rebuild it. Question is, at what cost? So I don't know that it'll ever happen, but sure is fun to talk about it. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can actually, I can understand it. It would be a place to put in the most hardened criminals. Let's go to Sheridan, and we'll talk to Carol this morning. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning. Well, the sun ain't shining, but we need the showers anyway.
Yeah, that's the way I
the
look
water
at it.
table's very low around our area.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. When the well come, when Kenny, he says the water table's really low. So. Well, they're doing in all these little ponds too, and filling them in, and that goes in the aquifer. And when the fields around here are drained, that goes right in the Great Lakes. So It's something to think about. And no frogs. I never remember not having frogs because there's no water in the ponds.
I got them in my basement. I got 2 frogs that live in my basement.
Yeah, they get bugs too. They used to be in the milk houses when we clean milk houses for people. You have a warty toad, or they call them warties.
I think that's what I have. And I'll tell you though, they've been there a couple of years now, so they must find enough bugs.
Yeah, they like spiders, I think. Yeah,
well,
they're really kind of they're awfully cute. I think nothing but a cute little warty toad.
They don't even, they're not even afraid of me. I walk down the stairs, and if one of them's sitting near the bottom, he just stays right there. He doesn't even move.
But just don't step on them because it's traumatic.
Yeah, no, I won't do that.
Well, I did one time because we had tree frog out there, and I was in a hurry and stepped out on it, outdoors by the front mat and stepped on one, and that's awful traumatic.
Yeah, for the frog too.
I know. Well, yeah. But I was thinking a day maybe you could have a helpful hint day. That people find things that are helpful. It might fall a couple to cooking things, which I'm sure the management would hate. But
I'll write it down. I'll take a look. We could probably do something.
People have some, like a lady I knew. She didn't know the bad egg exploded.
Yeah, if I did I'll do it on a Friday.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. But I mean, even garden hints or things that people have. I'm
going to have Jim Begic on pretty soon with the gardens, but we'll do something like that. It sounds like fun. All right, Carol, I got to go because my guest has called in.
Okay, bye-bye. Take care. Bye.
And we say good morning to Pamela Laughlin. She is the Chief Operating Officer of Michigan Works, and they have an event coming up. Pam, good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me back on your show this morning.
Absolutely. So what's happening in Standish this week?
So Michigan Works Region 7B is hosting a hiring event in Standish at the Sunrise Community Resource Center on Thursday, which is May 8th, from 3 to 6 p.m.
And what are you looking for?
Well, there's going to be a lot of really great employers. Sorry about the noise. Across many occupations attending this event. They're looking for their next great employee.
So this is a variety of vendors.
Yes, a lot of employers. Yep.
And what do you advise the folks coming out to this? What should they bring? What should they do?
Well, so they should bring a resume. They should bring their best self. There are employers who offer apprenticeship opportunities for the right candidate. So maybe that's somebody in your listening area. Apprenticeship is a way to earn while you learn. So somebody who's looking to get into a career, gain the on-the-job skills needed, and then attend various training programs to learn the classroom side of an occupation.
Let me ask you this, Pam, as a speculative question. Corning has just announced an increase to their investment in Hemlock. They're going to be looking for 1,500 employees.
Yes.
Semiconductors looking for a couple of hundred. SK Siltron is looking for all these people. Where are we going to find them?
Yeah.
Are they around?
At events like this. Yep. Yeah. I don't believe SK Siltron or Corning are coming to this event, but they're hosting multiple different hiring events all across the area.
Right. Yeah. It just is interesting because, I mean, this region could be the growth region in the state with all of this happening.
Yeah, very well poised for that, for sure. So kind of along that same line, today is the last day to register for a pre-manufacturing training that is scheduled to begin on May 12th. We partner up with Mid-Michigan College and Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works to help develop people's skills that are necessary to jump into a manufacturing career. And then after the training is completed, they'll be set up with a manufacturer for an interview at the end. So it could lead directly into a job.
How do they register for that?
They can register at any of the Michigan Works Region 7B offices in Clare, Gladwin, and Aranac, as well as any of the Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works offices.
Is there an online registration?
There is not,
Okay.
mostly because there is an actual registration for the program. There is for the manufacturing, but for somebody to qualify for Michigan Works Help to do it, they would have to come into the office.
Okay.
Otherwise, they could, to just directly enroll, they could hop onto the Mid-Michigan College's website to register.
All right, now the Standish event coming up, where is it being held?
It's at the Sunrise Community Resource Center in Standish.
And that's May 8th.
Yeah, this Thursday from 3 until 6. So if somebody is looking to attend that event, I would invite them to stop into our office to kind of take a look at their resume or maybe help them brush up on their interviewing skills. Or maybe they need some training that might help them to achieve their goals. We're here at the Ready. Our team is very highly skilled and can help in any of those situations.
And that really, when you come down to it, is the fundamental purpose of Michigan Works, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Exactly. We're trying to align employers with the workforce to get them employed, help develop the skills that are needed along the way.
Well, Pam, we'll remind everybody again, Standish, May 8th, 3 to 6. And you can stop into any Michigan Works office to find out more if you'd like to have your resume looked at or any help in interviewing and all that good stuff. And then this is the last day for signing up for what?
For the pre-manufacturing training.
Pre-manufacturing training. Stop into any Michigan Works office, Region 7, or here in the Great Lakes Bay region. All right.
Yep.
Well, Pam, good luck with it.
And we can help get you started in a great career.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Art.
You bet.
Yes, it is. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Great. All right.
Pam O'Loughlin, she is the Chief Operating Officer of Michigan Works. We're going to take a break and then open lines for the remainder of the hour, 989-752-6111. Let me chat with you about McDonald Ford in Freeland. And you probably noticed how hard it is to find products, quote, made in America. Well, now with the uncertainty of tariffs, it becomes even more important. McDonald Ford, in anticipation of tariffs, stocked their lot with tariff-free vehicles with many more en route. Not only are they tariff-free, but Ford is offering employee pricing for everyone. That means you pay the same price as Ford employees. In addition, Chrysler and import buyers considering a Ford also get the lowest price offered. Chevy truck buyers can now think about getting into a Ford F-150, the #1 selling pickup, also at employee pricing. So you see, now's the right time to visit McDonald Ford M47 Freeland for the best selection and lowest possible price. Don't let tariffs prevent you from getting the vehicle of your choice at a price you can afford. Visit McDonald Ford in Freeland today. Remember, tariff-free and employee pricing for everyone. And by the way, Ford has extended employee pricing for everyone now through July 6th. Stop into McDonald Ford today.
Progressive knows there are some surprising
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones from now till top of the hour, 989-752-6111. The UAW has chimed in on auto manufacturing in the United States, saying that they estimate we can build millions more vehicles right here in the U.S. because of current capacity. Could create up to 90,000 new manufacturing jobs. And this assertion is put forth with UAW President Shawn Fain's embrace of President Trump's auto tariffs. They wrote a white paper called Unlocking the Potential of U.S. Auto Manufacturing Capacity. And what they're saying is that Ford Motor Company, General Motors, Stellantis, and Volkswagen plants, including one that was once GM Lordstown, have capacity to spare, and that the automakers have the infrastructure to produce millions more vehicles right now without having to build new plants. He's estimating the U.S. auto industry had the capacity to build more than 14.7 million vehicles. However, only 10.2 million were produced in 2024, leaving 4.5 million units of unused capacity, according to the report. Well, that should be good news to companies that are looking, because of these tariffs, to move into the U.S., and there's additional production space. It should be good news for the big three who have some of that space. And they should be able to crank out more automobiles. Let's talk to Sean in Bay City. Sean, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. Just a quickie for you on tariffs. Something I didn't know that I learned, that I don't think most people know, is that percentage goes on the production cost. So let's take an iPhone, for example. It costs $5 to make over there in China. So what's 50% of $5? $2.50. Oh, no, not $2.50. Man, I'm going to freak out. Right? Yeah. It's not on the retail, it's on the production cost.
It's on items like that. Yeah, it makes sense, but it doesn't. It's a lot different when it's on automobiles. They're estimating at least $2,000 increase in cost on automobiles, at least.
Well, yeah. I give you all that. I just didn't know that it was on the production cost, not the retail cost. And I think a lot of people focus on the retail. It's going to be 50% of the retail. No, it's the production cost.
And you're absolutely right about that, because most people don't ever think about the wholesale cost. The only thing I want to know is what it's costing me. What's it costing me?
Exactly. So for a lot of products off Temu and stuff like that, I mean, it's $1. So, what are you incurring? 20 cents. Now, obviously, there's more higher dollar production stuff too. And we can't, forget about that either.
And the raw materials like steel and things of that nature can get pretty costly.
Oh, sure. But, we got to get I'm 52, my dad retired GM and stuff like that. There were so many jobs back in the day. You could walk out of high school, go get a job. It was great. Manufacturing, awesome.
Absolutely.
That's what this is all about. And I'm tired of people. I got to sneak this in if you got the time. Everybody's so whiny. Look, I'm 52. My life is spent, essentially. It's not about me. It's not about your kids. It's about the future, people. So quit whining. And remember that in World War II, you got 18-year-old kids going out there sacrificing their life, and you're worried about $1.50. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
That's one way to put it. That's one.
They're all calling in. They're worried about me. None of this is about you. If you're over 50, you're done anyway. Forget about it. You're not even counting.
Well, here's the thing, Sean. I'll agree with you to a part, but here's the part where I disagree. As a country, we've been taken advantage of.
Oh, absolutely.
And we need to fix that. And so, maybe the way he goes about it is a bit, excessive in some ways. But he likes to poke the bear, and the bear seems to come to him and say, okay, stop poking.
It's the art of the deal.
That's the art of the deal, absolutely.
you throw something out there and you negotiate down from there. I was a sales guy all my life. You can negotiate down, but you can negotiate up, and that, it won't work,
Yeah.
And people just, so that's all I got. I thought that was interesting on tariffs. I didn't know that. So, stop freaking out, everybody. Just buy American, and there you go.
That's it. All right, buddy.
Have a great day, Art.
You too.
Enjoy.
Good talking to you. Bye-bye now. All right, we'll take a break. Lines open for you at 989-752-6111.
Reliable.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Open phones till 10 o'clock this morning. You can give us a call, 989-752-6111. Chat with us. Interesting in this report that the UAW published, their white paper, and talking about extra capacity currently available to the auto industry in this country without so much as building another brick of any kind of production facility. Fain said, we don't, quote, we don't need to break ground on a single new plant to rapidly grow auto manufacturing capacity. It's already right in front of us. In the plants we've built, the skills of our members and the communities that depend on these jobs. Instead of offshoring jobs to low-wage, high-exploitation countries, auto companies must invest here at home and rebuild the middle class with union labor, unquote. So, it's interesting that if you look back in history, the auto industry and the unions have always, had this legacy of rising to national challenges. Goes back to like the Treaty of Detroit that Walter Reuther and GM signed after World War II. Was an important document and expanded the middle class in the area. And the other thing that happened in this white paper, which I found really interesting, there was not a mention of EVs. They only talked about unused production space, but no mentions whatsoever of EVs. Now, let's be realistic. EVs are not going away. The manufacturers are investing billions of dollars in research and battery research and and drivetrain research and all of that to make EVs more efficient, more affordable. The day of the EV, while it's not here yet, that is that it's the common vehicle on the road, probably is, I would guess, if I'm a betting man on this, I would say EVs that are as common in gasoline engines today are probably 15 to 20 years down the road. That would be my guess. I could be dead wrong about that, but I just, that's my gut feeling, is that we are not at that point yet where EVs are the overwhelming acceptable form of automotive transportation. Mainly because the infrastructure is not there, the prices aren't there, the range isn't there. They're working on it. They're getting there. It certainly is getting better. But I would be a betting man. If I were a betting man, I would say that the tax support for EVs, the $7,500, is going to be a goner. Congress now is attempting to go after California and vacate the California mandatory EV law by whatever it is, 2035 or something like that. So I think, while the day is coming, we're not there yet. All right, we'll take a break, come back, and we will get to Mike in Hemlock after this.
Capoco Community Credit.
Organ of your body. Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW. Mike is in Hemlock. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Great. Hey, I was wondering if you could get an answer for me or for the people of the county.
And the
Consumers Power closed their drop box. The outside box where you just drive up and
drop your bill.
Yeah, they closed it. I asked them why they couldn't.
Where was it?
On Weiss Street. I go there Saturday. The bill's like due Wednesday or something, so I just I date it for Monday, drop it in the box, and then.
I don't know. I'll have to ask. Let's see if I can find out. Make a note of that. Let me get something to write with here.
I mean, it's us older folks. I don't trust the mail. The guy ahead of me, they lost his check or whatever, so he had to come down from, I don't know, was out of town somewhere. But if you could check into it.
Well, I'll ask. We'll see if we can find out.
Yeah.
Have you tried to find out?
Well, I just told the girl at the office that I had a few shares of stock in the company. Not enough to make a difference. But she was just the clerk. She had no answers for me.
All right, well, we'll see if we can find out.
It was bolted shut, so everybody in line had to go in and
pay the bill.
Yep.
All right, we'll ask and see if we can find out.
Okay.
All right, Mike. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And we have Dan in Saginaw. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
You were speaking about baseball earlier.
Yeah.
I wrote something about a month ago. If you'd like to hear it, I'll read it for you.
Sure.
The sport of baseball has started for another year, and now let's talk and don't balk about the Tigers as they bring in a little more fear. They got the top starting pitcher starting this season and some other pitchers to help. That's another reason. So if these pitchers perform as expected and stay healthy, it'll make them more wealthy. Also, they are getting better in the field on defense, and they got to improve on hitting for more offense. Also, they got to do a little more hit and run, plus bunting and stealing more bases if they want to improve and have more fun. Tigers need more runs and hits. Stop taking and guessing on called third strikes, giving us the fits. So be ready and dig in to hit that pitch as it arrives at the plate. And be prepared if it's to your liking, and don't be late. Now if that pitch comes a little high or low, wait for your next pitch. Take it slow as you barrel it up for your next big blow. Now you've won this game and called and cleared the bases. Hopefully the Tigers are off to the races. As you all know, the Tigers season is exhausting and quite long. Now let's all hope you win your division and show you belong. We hope the playoffs and World Series are coming, and we will see what that all brings. Hopefully, World Series champs, a celebration, and lots of rings. That's my.
Your ode.
I wrote that I wrote that about a month ago.
They must have taken heart because they have improved in all of those categories. They are better at taking pitches. Their hitting has improved. Their offense is pretty darn good, actually, and pitching is outstanding. So they were listening,
Well, I think the major changes I see is Torkelson has changed his stance, and he's more upright, and he's better balanced.